Hey everyone, it's Jovencius here, and I'm happy to see you at my cozy Jovencius Delicious Cafe. Join me for a coffee break, and let's talk about something worthwhile.
Today, we'll be talking about the anatomy of a bully, understanding bullying behavior for a safer community. At the end of this session, we aim to understand the roots of bullying behavior, raise awareness of the impact of bullying, and promote solutions for change through empathy, support, and intervention.
Hey, I'm Billy. Yeah, I know I'm the one who picks on others, and maybe you're wondering why. I used to think it was because I'm just better than them, stronger, tougher. You know, the one who calls the shots. But the truth is, I'm not doing it because I'm better. I do it because I don't know any other way to feel in control. You see, at home, it's a mess. There's a lot of chaos, and I feel powerless. So when I see someone weaker, I take the chance to feel stronger. It's like a temporary escape from my own feelings of not being enough. Deep down, I'm afraid of being ignored, of not being seen. I bully because it makes me feel like people are afraid of me, like I matter. But what nobody knows is, I struggle with feeling small inside. I act tough, but I'm just hiding a version of me that's scared and insecure, wishing I could just be accepted for who I really am. The worst part? I don't always realize the pain I cause. I don't see how badly I'm hurting people until later, when it's too late.
Hi, I'm Victor. Maybe you've seen me around. I'm the one that gets pushed around, the one everyone laughs at. It's not because I did anything wrong, it's just because I'm different. I remember the first time Billy made fun of me. It was like the world stopped, and all eyes were on me. I thought maybe it was just a joke, but then it kept happening. It felt like a weight on my chest, like every day I was just waiting for the next attack. I tried to ignore it at first, but the words, they stuck with me. They hurt. They made me doubt myself, question who I was. I used to be confident, you know? But now, I walk with my head down, trying to be invisible, hoping nobody notices me. I don't speak up as much in class anymore. Why bother? I felt like my thoughts didn't matter. Sometimes I just wanted to cry, but I couldn't. I didn't know who to turn to, and I didn't want to look weak. The bullying, it made me feel like I was nothing. I felt like I didn't even belong here. The worst part? It wasn't just the words. It was the loneliness, the feeling of being unworthy, of being broken. It stays with you long after the bullying stops. It's like a scar on your soul. Bullying is the intentional, repeated harm or intimidation of someone perceived as weaker or vulnerable, often involving aggressive behavior, manipulation, or coercion. It can take many forms, such as physical violence, verbal abuse, social exclusion, or cyberbullying. The goal of bullying is often to exert power, control, or dominance over the victim, leading to emotional, psychological, or physical harm. Bullying is a pervasive issue in schools, in workplaces, in communities. It creates an environment of fear and insecurity, where victims often feel helpless and marginalized. Bullies often exhibit a need for power and control over others. Bullies seek dominance, using intimidation and manipulation as tools to establish superiority. This desire for control often masks deep-seated insecurities. Bullies frequently struggle with their own low self-esteem and by targeting others, they temporarily feel more secure.
This behavior is not only a reflection of their dominance, but also a projection of their personal struggles with self-worth. Bullies often suffer from emotional deficits, such as a lack of empathy. They fail to recognize or care about the harm they cause their victims, which makes it easier for them to engage in hurtful actions without remorse. The environment plays a significant role in shaping bullying behavior. A bully's actions may be influenced by family dynamics. Children who experience violence or neglect at home may be more likely to engage in bullying as a coping mechanism. This learned behavior becomes a way for them to exert control, especially in situations where they feel powerless in their personal lives. Peer influence is also a powerful force. Bullies may target victims to gain acceptance within a group or to prove their social dominance. This peer pressure creates a toxic cycle where bullying becomes normalized in certain circles. Bullies may feel encouraged or emboldened by the group's approval, which perpetuates the behavior. One of the key features of bullying behavior is the cognitive distortion that allows bullies to justify their actions. Many bullies believe that their actions are justified, often blaming their victims for being weak or too sensitive. This self-justification allows bullies to minimize the harm they cause and avoid taking responsibility for their actions. Bullies often operate in a state of denial, refusing to acknowledge the full extent of the damage they do. This denial prevents them from understanding the emotional and psychological impact of their behavior on the victims. As a result, they fail to develop empathy and are less likely to change their behavior unless intervened upon. Bullies often target individuals who they perceive as vulnerable or different. Victims are frequently chosen based on perceived weaknesses, such as physical appearance, social status, or personality traits. These characteristics can make them stand out in a way that bullies exploit to assert control. The choice of a victim is not random. Bullies often select individuals they believe will not retaliate or defend themselves effectively. This manipulation creates a power imbalance that is difficult for victims to escape. While bullies may experience short-term gains, such as increased social standing or a temporary sense of superiority, the long-term consequences of their behavior are often far-reaching. Many bullies suffer from social isolation, difficulty forming meaningful relationships, and emotional instability later in life. The emotional toll of their actions catches up with them, especially if they never learn to build healthy, empathetic connections with others. Victims of bullying often carry emotional scars that can affect their self-esteem, mental health, and ability to trust others. The trauma from bullying can have lasting effects on their academic performance, career prospects, and overall well-being. Thus, addressing bullying not only helps the victims, but can also lead to the rehabilitation of the bully, giving them an opportunity for personal growth and development. Provide education on empathy and emotional intelligence to help potential bullies understand the impact of their behavior. Implement support systems for victims, ensuring they feel heard and protected. Encourage open communication between students, teachers, and parents to foster a culture of understanding and respect. Offer counseling or therapy for both victims and bullies to address underlying psychological issues. Understanding the anatomy of a bully is the first step in combating bullying behavior. By recognizing the traits, environmental influences, and psychological mechanisms that drive bullying,
we can better address the root causes and create environments where everyone can thrive. Through empathy, education, and support, we can break the cycle of bullying and foster communities built on kindness, respect, and understanding.
Thank you for your time. Stand up, speak up, be kind. Bullying ends when kindness begins.